Hi, thank you so much for choosing to practice with us. I'm Kiesha, one of the teachers on Daily Sadhana with Ben, and just so grateful that you take the time to plug in. For our practice today, I'm going to use a strap. You could always use your hands, you could use a towel or a tie. If you do have one of these yoga straps, unbuckle it, and then you're going to take one end, slide it through the other, just to create a little loop that's going to support your foot for when we get to that space. And as you know, daily sadhana is supposed to be a representation of our own practices, so I always like to do things that I'm focused on. And today I needed a little bit of inspiration, so I tap into a book. This book is Awaken Every Day, 365 Buddhist Reflections to Invite Mindfulness and Joy. It's by Theboten Chodron. And I just flipped the pages, opened up to page 228, which is day 215. The Feel-Good Four Immeasurables. As part of our daily practice, we must recite the four immeasurables. 1, may all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. Oh, how wonderful that would be. 2, may all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. Very wonderful. 3, may all sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. Oh, now we're floating like a cloud. Number 4, may all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. What a wonderful, ideal world. And before reading on a little bit more, I see why I opened up to this page. I've been dealing with a little bit of anger, a little upset at my husband, a little mad at a coworker. So I think this is why I'm reminded of the teachings. And that's what the practices are. They're reminders of the teachings to bring you back to your truest self, which is a person of love, light, compassion. Back to the readings. We feel great, but when we come out of meditation, somebody left a mess in the living room. Why do they think they are? This is totally unacceptable. I must confront him. Our feel-good four immeasurables are out the window. We don't catch our anger or see our lack of equanimity, let alone our love, compassion, and joy. The feel-good aspect and the reality of our mind are worlds apart. Back to the meditation cushion to try again. This time, trying to integrate these four thoughts into our own minds. And I'll repeat those four immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. Let's go ahead and get on the mat, start our practice, and we'll meditate on these four immeasurables. Make your way onto your back. Connect your head and shoulders to the floor. Shift your new hairdo. I'm typically legs bent in a constructive rest. Your legs might be extended, or you're using a prop to support you. And as we tap into the reading, these four immeasurables, let's focus on four. 4 counts to breathe in. 4 counts to breathe out. Samavriti, the equal part breath. Breathe into a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Continue with your breath. Maybe it sticks to this equal 4 inhale and 4 exhale. That's practicing equanimity in itself. Start to move your body. Bring your legs into a grounded bridge position. Place the bottoms of your feet to the floor where your knees face up. Place your hands on your hips, so your outer hips. And you might have to visualize the movement before it really kicks in. Think of cat-cow. So on the inhale, you allow your belly to relax, you draw your chest forward. And on the exhale, you pull your belly in and you arch your back. That's what we would do on our knees. Now visualize that right here on your back. So take an inhale and let your tailbone press into the floor. Feel that subtle arch in your back. Your chest will puff up to the ceiling. Now on the exhale, draw your tailbone to the floor, flatten your back, pull your belly in. And with your hands, almost hug your hips in. Inhale, reverse that. Let your tailbone tilt back, draw your chest up. Exhale, pull your tailbone down, flatten your spine along the floor. Inhale, find the rock. Exhale, tilt in the opposite direction. If you were to take your hand and try to slide it underneath your lower back, on the exhale, you can't because your back is flat. On the inhale, you do have space. Your hand can go underneath. So on the inhale, think of creating a hill with your back and then flattening it out on the exhale. Let's give this a count of 4. 3. 2. And 1. And with your back released, flat on the floor. Now bring your hands behind your head, have your elbows out wide. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, bring your elbows in towards your face, lift your shoulders up, point your elbows to your thighs. And then lower your upper body back down to the floor, your elbows fan out. Exhale, pull your elbows in, curl up, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lower down, let your elbows fan out. So also similar to a cat-cow movement, let the breath move you. Exhale, you lift up, contract your belly, just like you would cat on your knees. And then inhale, lower down, let your elbows fan out. You have it. Exhale, lift, push into your feet. Inhale, lower, allow your upper body to release. We'll do this for a count of 4. 3, working through your upper back, where before we did the lower back. 2, and 1. Release your upper body down, let your arms relax beside you. Take an inhale. Exhale, full wind relieving pose. Bring both of your knees in towards your chest. You could use your hands or let them be free. I'm going to hug and squeeze and a little massage of my belly. Now, I did have Thai food before this, so I'm not going to smush too much. Stillness or rocking, maybe some circling. Take a breath in, and when you breathe out, come into a reclined, easy seat. Cross your left ankle over your right, similar to how we might be seated. Your hands can relax. You could use your hands to pull your legs in towards your body a little bit more. Now, if you've practiced with me before, you know I tend to time things like we would in yin yoga. I'm going to give this a minute before we kind of add on. You might feel a subtle sensation in your hips, maybe even the massage of your abdomen. Not too much, but not too little. Definitely not much effort, because your body is really doing the work for you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. About one more full round of breath. And then switch, recline pigeon. Adjust your left foot where it crosses over your right thigh. Your hands could rest, or use your hands or even your thigh to hold your legs. There's some rocking, stillness. How are your feet working here? Maybe there's some movement. Ooh, stomach's grumbling. A little massage of the belly's kicking in right away. Breathe in. Breathe out. You could always use your left elbow, left hand to massage your left hip open more. Now switch. Recline shoelace. Let your thighs cross completely, almost like if you were in eagle pose. Again, your hands can relax, or use your hands to hold your legs any part. I like to lift up in my chest so I can grab hold of my ankles, and then I bring my upper body back down to the floor. Do you rock here? I'm definitely feeling a subtle pinch in my left hip here, but it's not a pain. It's definitely not a pinch that will form a numbing. Hug and squeeze in. Breathe in. And tapping into our hips. We'll also tap into our legs, helping to unblock some of the root energy, grounding energy. And it's often when our root is not stable that life feels unstable. And that's when I feel like I get a short fuse and can get angry. Now, please, we've done 3 positions in 1-minute increments. Give yourself 1 minute. That'll make a total of 4. What do you do with this 1 minute? For me, I'm going to go back to step 2, which was reclined pigeon, and I'm going to add the hamstring stretch. You could do that with or without the strap. I have the strap around my right foot with my right leg extended up in the air. Now, when I'm in a yin state, I'm not forcing the stretch, so I'm just kind of holding. When I'm more in an active stretch, a deep stretch, I'm pulling a bit, supporting the stretch. Really your preference. Breathe into that 1, 2, 3, and 4. Breathe out to the 4, 3, 2, and 1. In total, we've been in this side for 4 minutes. I'm going to release it. The beauty of being kind of on demand is you could rewind if you want a little bit more time. I took class with a friend named Hillary yesterday, and when our joints were popping and creaking, she mentioned that was the winter pop, snap and crinkle. I thought that was cute. All right, never in a race, never a rush. We've been in the hips with the left side. We're going to switch into legs with the left side. Here's where you might use the strap if you haven't already. The strap's already prepared with the little loop. Place the strap around your left foot. Left side being our yin side. Send your left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Yeah, we're focusing on legs. We'll definitely get into the hamstring and calf, but a little continued action in our hips. This is going to be a subtle movement. I don't know if my words always make sense with it. On the inhale, push your left foot up to the ceiling. And when I push my foot up to the ceiling, my glutes are still on the floor, but you might feel a little lift of your hip. So you're not rising up like bridge, you're just slightly pressing your foot up and you'll feel your hip lift. And then on the exhale, pull your hip and heel back into the ground. Inhale, press your heel up. Your glute might float a bit, but it doesn't lift intentionally. Exhale, pull your heel and hip back into the ground. Few more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Heel up. Hip down. Heel up. Hip down. One more round. Heel up. Hip down. Now we'll hold it here. You could let your hands go. With the strap, consider pulling your leg towards your face and then walking your hands down the strap over your head so that your arms straighten. In my body, I feel a little bit more resistance in the leg stretch, and I definitely feel an opening in my shoulders, my upper back. You can keep your right leg bent or extend it straight along the mat. Breathe in. And breathe out. Alrighty. Next position. If you have the strap, stay connected with it in some way. Lower your left leg down to the floor. Roll over onto your right side. Lay on your right side. You could have both of your legs bent. This will be more supportive with balance. Both of your legs straight. That'll engage your core, requiring more balance. Your head could rest on the floor. You might extend your left arm and use that as a support. You could prop your head up with your left hand. It's called the infinity pose or sleeping Vishnu. And I'll tell you about the story of sleeping Vishnu another day. From here, extend your left leg up to the ceiling. If you have the strap, you might adjust it to give it a little bit more tension. Someone might realize they don't need the strap and they hold their foot, pull it towards you. I'm going to stay with the strap and kind of engage my shoulders in this. Hold on to the strap with both hands and pull to where your arms are straight. Now the opening of my legs, holding the strap, my left arm isn't straight, so I'm going to grab my leg with my hands. Yeah, that's it. And we breathe into it. If you feel you're wobbling, let your bottom leg bend. Focus more on the stretch of your leg, slightly different from when you were on your back. And I always like to play a little bit. If you let your leg float more to the right, like you're about to twist, I'm sure you'll feel a different sensation. Revisit your breathing. Release your thinking. You're doing it right. You're stretching your legs. You might also be stretching your mind. Not often do we do side lying postures. Next position. If you have the strap, keep hold of it. Lower your left leg down. Again, it crosses or stacks on top of your right. Think of a reclined dancer. Bend your left leg where your foot goes behind you. And then readjust your left arm so you can pull the strap. You might grab the strap with both hands. Pull your foot behind you. Yep. Feel the stretch in your left quad, front big thigh muscle. And I'm going to go ahead and bend my bottom leg. Your chest, it might tilt more towards the floor so that you can focus on your leg. Or you might tilt your chest more up to the ceiling where you're adding a little bit of spinal twist. Of course, you could hold your foot with one hand. There's a version of this infinity pose where you could hold your foot with both hands. For me, a good thigh stretch is always yummy. Okay. Keep holds of the strap and roll onto your belly. You'll probably shift to realign yourself with the mat. Sway your hips. Clean the lint off of your mat. And then it's half bow, or it could be half of a version of frog. Bend your left leg again where your foot comes towards your glute. I have the strap, so I'm going to pull it with both hands to create a little bit more tension. You might let your knee lift. If you want to add spine, raise your chest up, pull the strap. You got it. And I must share my inspiration for this strap movement and sequence. I've been doing some online studies with T.S. Little, takes me back to my Iyengar days, using props, going slow, always being intentional. Last breath or two. And then release. Crocodile, stack your forearms. Don't worry about the strap if it's still bound with you. There might be a shake of your hips, a windshield wiper of your feet. And then inhale, table, push up to hands and knees. Still not stressed about the strap. I'll get it in a moment. And then how about cat-cow now versus when you were on your back? You can definitely undulate and exaggerate your spine more. Exhale, cat, arch and round, tuck in. Inhale, cow pose. Tilt your tailbone up, pull your chest through. Exhale. Inhale. 4 more rounds of breath, just you. And the inhale brings you back to neutral table. Make your way to a seat. Release the strap if it's still bound with you. And I did use the strap when we were in reclined pigeon, so I'm gonna place it to my left side, even though we're about to move and stretch with the right side. When I teach, I intentionally try to be quiet when there is a second side. If I'm doing my own practice, I'm not talking to myself anyway. Make your way back to your spine. You might want to revisit the recline cat-cow after being on your knees. It might spark your brain for that movement. Prepare for your reclined, easy seat, Sukhasana. Cross your right ankle over your left. Remember, you could use your hands or let them be free. Allow them to relax. And let's revisit the feel good 4 immeasurables. May all beings have happiness and its causes. We'll breathe through that. May all beings be happy. Switch, recline pigeon, right over left. May all beings be free of suffering and its causes. Reclined shoelace, intersect at your thighs. May all beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. And then that fourth minute, one of the three positions, you found your own position. I chose to go back to reclined pigeon with the added hamstring stretch. Strap is around my left foot. You can pull your arms back and overhead to engage your shoulders and create a little bit more tension. May all beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. That's the hard one. Breathe into it. And then release. Take the strap and place it around your right foot. Have your left leg bent like bridge. And that little micro movement. Inhale, push your heel to the ceiling. Almost feel like your leg is getting longer. Then exhale, pull your heel and hip down as if your leg were getting shorter. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Down. Up. Down. Give it 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we'll hold here. And in all transparency, my fancy watch, the battery has died here. So I'm gonna go back to old school and count my breath. I think I know how many will be a minute. I'm gonna count in silence. If you have a watch, please set it for 1 minute. Those were the increments. I gauge 10 full rounds of breath, roughly a minute for me, and start to switch. Come into your infinity pose, side lying Vishnu. Roll over onto your left hip. And I'm going to shift so you can look towards me versus my back. But it probably doesn't matter because you're probably not facing the camera anymore. Light stretch. Side lying dancer. Roll onto your belly. Half bow. Crocodile. Child's pose. Free yourself from the strap. Option, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Bring your thumbs to the back of your head, back of your neck. Breathe here. Meditate here. Or shift to a seated or kneeling meditation position. As part of our daily practice, we may recite the 4 immeasurables. May all beings have happiness. May all beings be free. May all beings not be separated from bliss. May all beings have equanimity and peace. So back to the meditation cushion to try again. This time, trying to integrate these 4 thoughts into our own minds. We'll sit together. Let's sit together for 4 minutes. Now, I don't have a timer, so we'll see how this goes. May all beings be well. May all beings be free. May all beings experience bliss. May all beings find equanimity and peace. May all beings be well. May all beings be free. May all beings find bliss. May all beings have equanimity and peace. May all beings be well. May all beings be free. May all beings experience bliss. May all beings have equanimity and peace. 4th time, silently. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. We'll recite that once again. May all beings be well. May all beings be free. May all beings experience happiness. May all beings have equanimity and peace. And most importantly, may my words, thoughts, and actions contribute to that wellness, that freedom, that equanimity, peace, and happiness of all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Hi. Peace, peace, peace. With gratitude, I say Dhanyavadaha. That's thank you. Appreciate you joining me for a little stretch. stretch of body, stretch of mind, tapping into these Buddhist principles, the four immeasurables. In yoga, you could also connect to the mantra of Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Until we meet again, hey mommy, glad you found the channel on YouTube. I look forward to your feedback. Thank you, friends.